USA election news. The Trump trials. Labor Haze. Welcome back to the Trump Trials Weekly Newsletter, where we follow courts and lawyers trying to understand the Supreme Court's ambiguous ruling allowing Trump and prior presidents broad immunity for official activities. Questions about Trump's trials? Contact perry.stein@washpost.com and devlin.barrett@washpost.com for replies and future newsletters. Let's begin. The future. Return to menu. U.S. District Judge Tanya S. Chutkan in Washington is considering two different approaches to the federal complaint involving Trump's 2020 election obstruction. President Trump's lawyers have recommended a thorough briefing and hearing schedule with several sections, while special counsel Jack Smith suggests one large government file on Trump's potential charges with no timeline. Justice Juan Merchan in New York may soon determine whether to sentence the former president for hush money on September 18. Intricacies of the Supreme Court's immunity judgment lead Trump's lawyers to suggest delaying it until after the election, and prosecutors agree. A recap of last week. D.C. 2020 election federal case. Return to menu. The details, for conspiracy charges to obstruct 2020 election results. Last week, Trump's team and the special counsel appeared to concur in a court filing that the pretrial sparring will likely go into 2025 or beyond, far beyond the November election in which Trump is the Republican nominee. Smith once emphasized trial urgency. After losing the Inauguration Day clock race, he is proposing no schedule and leaving timing decisions to Chutkan. The filing comes days after Smith filed a superseding indictment to restart the case. The Supreme Court's July ruling that Trump and other presidents had extensive immunity for official activities hampered Smith's case. That required removing several indictment charges. Smith's shorter version cites 4 offenses by Trump. Weekly Nerd Word. Return to menu. Superseding indictment. Federal prosecutors occasionally ask a grand jury to produce a new charging document to amend an indictment. A superseding indictment might add or delete charges or defendants. In the Trump election obstruction case, Smith's supplemental indictment reduced some claims but did not affect the number of counts or defendants. It removed former Justice Department officer Jeffrey Clark, an unindicted co-conspirator. New York State hush money case. Return to menu. The details. 34 business record falsification accusations related to a 2016 hush money payment. Trump's conviction came on May 30. Last week, Trump's lawyers renewed their request to remove the matter from state court and federal court, which failed once. Following the High Court's immunity ruling, Trump's lawyers appear to be aiming to delay his mid-September sentence until after the election. The details. U.S. District Judge Aileen M. Cannon dismissed the indictment alleging that Trump hid top-secret government materials at Mar-a-Lago and resisted federal orders to restore them. Smith tries to revive case. Last week, Smith argued in writing to the Federal Appeals Court in Atlanta that Cannon's dismissal decision contradicts a consistent course of decisions, including the Supreme Court, and long-standing appointment practices in the Department of Justice and Government. The details. Trump faces 10 state charges for allegedly seeking to overturn the election. A fourth of his 18 co-defendants has pleaded guilty. Last Monday, Trump's lawyers accused District Attorney Fani T. Willis of racial animus toward the former president. According to Trump's lawyers, the intentional insertion of bogus allegations of racism has tainted the case and disqualified Willis. Trump and 8 co-defendants are asking the state appeals court to remove Willis for allegedly having an illegal intimate contact with the investigation's outside lawyer.